Hey there, welcome back to the channel. In this video we are going to look at 5 released WWE superstars who could return later this year. We're almost halfway through 2021 and fans have been entertained by WWE and its superstars weekly during this pandemic-hit year. However, WWE itself has had to take some drastic measures to ensure that the company can continue entertaining fans during these hard times. Last year, WWE was forced to release several superstars as part of its budget cuts. Since then, the company has continued to release superstars to keep costs low during the pandemic. Chelsea Green, Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, Andrade, Alexander Wolf, and many other big names have already been released by WWE this year. However, the doors for a return are always open. Many of these superstars could look to make a return to the company sooner rather than later. With the return of fans, WWE could look to bring back several big names at the right time. Take a look at 5 recently released superstars who could make a comeback to WWE before the end of the year. Before we get into it, be sure to drop a like, and if you are new, don't forget to subscribe for daily wrestling content. Number 5. Braun Strowman was one of the biggest superstars released by WWE. Braun Strowman had a rather impressive career in WWE. The monster among men came into the spotlight as part of the Riott family, and went on to make a name for himself in the years that followed. Strowman had some great rivalries against several top superstars in the company, and went on to defeat Goldberg at WrestleMania 36 to win his first World Championship. Strowman remained in the race for the World Championship more often than not and was in the spotlight for most of his career. The WWE Universe was surprised when Strowman was one of the superstars released by WWE in early 2021. Following the news, Booker T appeared on his podcast to talk about what may have led to the monster among men's release. "Yeah, it definitely made me go, wow, Braun Strowman. And then I started looking at it from a business perspective, if it is true, the rumors out there saying Braun Strowman had a huge contract and he was making a lot of money. When doing budget cuts, that's the one thing you're going to be thinking of. Who do we really need? Who's the guy we really need here to keep this thing running?" said Booker T. Booker T also explained a possible reason why WWE might have had trouble booking Strowman properly. "And, take nothing away from Braun Strowman," Booker T added. "He was an enigma. He was the guy, somewhat of a throwback to the guys that did it much before him. Look at Braun Strowman. Even being the enigma that he was, it was kind of hard to match Braun Strowman up with more than 2 to 3 guys on the roster." Strowman had a healthy contract with WWE, and that could have led to his release during the company's budget cuts. However, he is one of the bigger names in the company and could look to make a comeback before the end of the year. Strowman could also be signed to WWE NXT, where he could appear as a major superstar and help bolster the brand. New contract negotiations could open the door for a return of the former Universal Champion. Number 4. Murphy could become a top star on WWE NXT. Murphy's WWE career was filled with many highs and lows. He started in WWE NXT and soon became the NXT Tag Team Champion with Wesley Blake. Murphy went on to win the WWE Cruiserweight Championship from there, and then moved to the SmackDown brand. He got a chance to work closely with Seth Rollins, and even won the Raw Tag Team Championships with The Architect. However, Murphy spent a lot of time on the shelf for WWE, especially during his main roster career. His work in the ring was phenomenal, and he had a memorable rivalry with Aleister Black. In June 2021, the Juggernaut was released from his WWE contract as part of the company's budget cuts. Murphy took to Twitter to talk about his release and ended by saying that he hadn't even reached his peak yet. "So today ends my 8 years with WWE. What a crazy ride, highest of highs, lowest of lows. But whether I had 3 minutes or 20 minutes, I put all my effort into my performances. Nothing is harder when all you want to do is wrestle, but you can't. In my opinion, I haven't even hit my peak yet," Murphy tweeted. There is no doubt that Murphy is an outstanding wrestler. His work in the ring has been great, and that could allow him to return to WWE sooner rather than later. Triple H could look to bring Murphy back to NXT as he is someone who can elevate the brand. NXT is filled with some top quality wrestlers who love to break the boundaries while performing in the ring. Murphy is someone who can do the same to become a champion of the brand. Number 3. Ruby Riott could be a great fit for WWE NXT. Ruby Riott is a superstar whose recent release has affected the locker room along with the rest of the WWE Universe. Riott was part of WWE NXT early in her career, where she went on to form a faction known as the Riott Squad. While many fans expected great things from the talented superstar, WWE never gave her a massive push. In June 2021, Riott was one of the superstars released from their WWE contract. A number of wrestlers in the locker room reacted to Riott's release on social media. Former SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley praised her wrestling skills and kindness in a tweet. "Dory got all the dog moms roses on Mother's Day, sent me flowers when my grandma passed away, organized locker room birthday parties, sent a gift to Chelsea from all of us when she got hurt, made Jess a video to tell her we miss her, and is one of the greatest wrestlers out there." While WWE did not handle Riott too well in her first WWE run, she could come back much stronger for another stint with the company once things settle down. Riott could come back and join NXT, where she could get in the race for the NXT Women's Championship or Women's Tag Team Championships. NXT has often had an arguably better women's roster, and Riott could end up being more successful there during her second run on the brand. Riott is one of the best female wrestlers in the industry, and WWE could look to make full use of her after renegotiating her contract and bringing her back once fans return. Number 2. Samoa Joe could become a future WWE champion. Samoa Joe joined WWE NXT in 2015 amid much fanfare. Joe was well known for his work outside WWE, and fans were certain that he would make it big in the company. Joe went on to form a partnership with Finn Balor, after which both superstars competed for the NXT Championship. Soon after moving to the main roster, Joe went on the hunt for a world championship in WWE. Surprisingly, that did not work out, and he only went on to win the United States Championship during his main roster career. After suffering an injury, Joe became a commentator in the company and started impressing the WWE Universe with his mic skills. Soon after WrestleMania 37, the Samoan Submission Machine was released from his contract. Joe hasn't spoken much about his release from the company. However, there must be several promotions waiting to nab the 42-year-old. However, WWE could look to re-sign the superstar if he is medically cleared and willing to perform in the ring again. Joe is one of the biggest names to have entered the WWE and left without winning a world championship. The wrestler still has a few years left in him, and he could re-sign with the company to potentially become a future world champion still. Number 1. Aleister Black could make his return to WWE. Aleister Black is one of the biggest superstars who was released by WWE in June 2021. Black had a good time in WWE NXT, where he enjoyed a successful NXT championship reign. However, his time on the main roster did not go as well, and he remained off television for extended periods. Just when it looked like Black would be back in the mix for Friday Night SmackDown, WWE decided to release the superstar. Following his release, the striking man from Amsterdam streamed on his wife and former WWE superstar, Thea Trinidad's, FKA Zelina Vega, Twitch channel. He revealed that there were plans to have him win a title on the main roster, but Vince McMahon scrapped the idea as he wanted fans to be in attendance during his first championship win. Funny story, there was a moment where I was actually supposed to win the US title, but then Vince's consensus where I don't want to have him have his first title win in front of no audience, so there was always good stuff going on. Like there's a lot of good stories, a lot of like almost happened moments. So I can't be negative, said Aleister Black. In all my conversations I've had with Vince, he was very positive about me. I have a good relationship with Vince. I always told him how I felt. He always respected that about me, and he always praised me on my creativity and my ability to have manners and respects, but still being honest with him about how I felt. It looks like Vince McMahon had some good plans for the superstar, and that could result in his return to the company later this year. Black had a good run in NXT, and Triple H could end up bringing the superstar back for another run there also. Black has all of the required qualities to become a world champion, and WWE could look to get him back in the company soon after fans return to the arenas. Will Paul Heyman's influence in the company allow fans to get Black back on their screens?